Ādi-līlā. Yes. Jaya Braja Janana. Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janana. Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Raja Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Parahamsa Parivrattacharya Astuttara Satasri Srimate Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mayapur Dham ki jai. Jagannath Puri ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki. Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, and today's text I was given is text 104, 105, 106, and 107. So we'll just read a bit about this purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta, just to get the flow of things. So please bear with me while I read this. Hare Krishna. Oh, Ram Ram. This sort of serious interest in the welfare of the public makes one a bona fide acharya. So, the background is that Advaita Acharya is about to call loudly for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because the whole material world was in a terrible state of affairs. So he prayed with Tulsi Patra and Ganges water. But main thing is that he chanted loudly. And the way he chanted, he actually crossed all the borders, and actually Krishna heard him. So Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon the request of Advaita Acharya. So this sort of, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, since the Acharya is a confidential servitor of the Lord, his heart is always full of compassion for humanity in its suffering. So Srila Prabhupada actually is very compassionate. And he introduced ISKCON so that people in this world can get an opportunity to serve Krishna. He's very compassionate. Para dukhi dukkha. So let's see what happens next. He knows that all suffering is due to the absence of devotional service to the Lord. And therefore, he always tries to find ways to change people's activities, making them favorable for the attainment of devotion. So he's making grounds, preparation for us to perform devotional service. That is the qualification of an acharya. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu himself was powerful enough to do the work as a submissive servitor, he thought that without the personal appearance of the Lord, no one could improve the fallen condition of society. In the grim clutches of Maya, the first-class prisoners of this material world wrongly think themselves happy because they are rich, powerful, resourceful, and so on. These foolish creatures do not know that they are nothing but play dolls in the hands of material nature. I think you've seen, all of you have seen, a nice picture where there are three strings, three modes of nature actually, but they are like dolls. You know, a puppeteer can move up and down, up and down. So basically, sometimes we are in the mode of goodness, sometimes we are in the mode of passion, sometimes we are in the mode of ignorance. And sometimes it's mixed. So in the mode of goodness, passion enters. Sometimes the other way around, in the mode of passion, sometimes ignorance and passion, goodness is mixed. So, and in ignorance, it's normally just ignorance and a little bit of passion, but usually it's just ignorance. So most of us, unfortunately or fortunately, we are in the mode of ignorance and passion. And we have to rise above to come to the mode of goodness. And then that is not enough as well. You have to rise above mode of goodness into transcendental mode of goodness. So that is called sattva gun. So in ISKCON, when devotees actually surrender, they are actually on the transcendental platform. Yeah, sattva gun. And the example Maharaj gives is that, if you have a traffic light system in the ground, cars have to follow. Red means stop, green means go. But that rule does not apply to the pilot in a plane. So we are, when you are doing transcendental activities, you are like the pilot. This material world does not affect you. Whether it's green light or red light or whatever, it's not, for the pilot, it doesn't affect him, what is happening on the earth, or on the ground planet. So we are fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has introduced ISKCON, a process of elevating ourselves from mode of passion and ignorance. We rise to the mode of goodness, and then we also cross that border and we go to transcendental goodness. Okay, let's see what happens. So, Advaita Acharya is trying to find ways to change people's activities, making them favorable for the attainment of devotion. That is the qualification of an Acharya. So Acharya is a person who teaches by example. That's why Advaita Acharya, Advaita Prabhu is called Advaita Acharya. He sets an example and we just follow. Srila Prabhupada, when he introduced ISKCON, he didn't say, you carry on chanting and do this, do that. He actually set an example himself and he was chanting and telling other people to chant. Let's see what happens. All right, there's the qualification of an Acharya. Although Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu himself was powerful enough to do the work as a submissive servitor, he thought that without the personal appearance of the Lord, no one could improve the fallen condition of society. So, Advaita Acharya, Advaita Prabhu, he doesn't think that he can do it alone. Most of the time, we, in the material world, we sort of want to become God. We want to become bosses. We want to become proprietor. And Krishna is telling us here that follow the example of Advaita Acharya, be humble, and the Lord, if he accepts the service attitude, then he comes to help. So we are in that process, we are learning how to surrender, and Advaita Acharya, he was surrendered, and because of his love and devotion, he managed to ask Krishna to come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the grim clutches of Maya, the first-class prisoners of this material world wrongly think themselves happy because they are rich, powerful, resourceful, and so on. These foolish creatures do not know that they are nothing but play dolls in the hands of material nature, and that at any plans for godless, that at any moment material nature's pitiless intrigues can crush to dust all their plans for godless activities. Such foolish prisoners cannot see that however they improve their position by artificial means, the calamities of repeated birth, death, disease, and old age are always beyond the jurisdiction of their control. Foolish as they are, they neglect these major problems of life and busy themselves with false things that cannot help them solve their real problems. They know that they do not want to suffer death or pangs of disease and old age. But under the influence of the illusory energy, they are grossly negligent and therefore do nothing to solve the problems. This is called Maya. People held in the grip of Maya are thrown into oblivion after death. And as a result of their karma, in the next life, they become dogs or gods, although most of them become dogs. To become gods in the next life, they must engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, they are sure to become dogs or hogs in terms of the laws of nature. The third-class prisoners, being less materially opulent than the first-class prisoners, endeavor to imitate them, for they also have no information of the real nature of their imprisonment. Thus, they are also misled by the illusory material nature. The function of the Acharya, however, is to change the activities of both the first-class and third-class prisoners for their real benefit. This endeavor makes him a very dear devotee of the Lord, who says clearly in the Bhagavad Gita that no one in human society is dearer to him than a devotee who constantly engages in his service by finding ways to preach the message of Godhead for the real benefit of the world. The so-called acharyas of the age of Kali are more concentrated with exploiting the resources of their followers than mitigating their miseries. But Sri Advaita Prabhu, as an ideal acharya, was concerned with improving the condition of the world situation. So we'll just move on, or we'll just finish. Advaita Acharya thought, this is text 99, Advaita Acharya thought that if Sri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. 100. In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation? 101. I shall worship Krishna in a purified state of mind. I shall constantly petition him in humbleness. 102. My name, Advaita, will be fitting if I am able to induce Krishna to inaugurate the movement of the chanting of the holy name. 103. Krishna vasa kara bena kon aradhana vicharita eka sloka aila tarira mane. While he was thinking about how to appropriate Krishna by worship, the following verse came to his mind. And this is the verse we are reading today. I don't know if it's on the screen or something. 104. So, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Tulasi Dala Matrena Jalasya Chukar Kenava Vikrinti Swam Atmanam Bhaktyabhyo Bhakta Vatsalaha Tulasidala Matrena Jalasya Chuklukenava Vikrinite Swam Atmanam Bhaktyabhyo Bhaktara Vatsalaha Tulasidala Matrena Jalasya Chulukenava Vikriniti Swam Atmanam Bhaktyabhyo Bhakta Vatsalaha Tulasidala Matrena Jalasya Chulukenava Vikriniti Swam Atmanam Bhaktyabhyo Bhakta Vatsalaha Tulasidala Matrena Jalasya Chulukenava Vikriniti Swam Atmanam Bhaktyabhyo Bhakta Vatsalaha Mataji, please. Tulasi, of Tulasi. Dala, a leaf. Matrena, by only. Jalasya, of water. Chulukena, by a palmful. Va, and Vikriniti, cells. Swam, his own. Atmanam, self. Bhaktebhyaha, unto the devotees. Bhakta Vatsalaha, Lord Krishna, who is affectionate to his devotees. Translation. Sri Krishna, who is very affectionate toward his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a tulsi leaf and a palmful of water. Purport. This is a verse from the Gautamiya Tantra. And we'll read 105, 106, and then 107, and then we'll read the purport, and then we'll discuss. ISKCON vicharaya Krishna ke tulasi jala deha de jana Sarita Krishna Karena Chintana Jala Tulashirya Sama Kichu Kare Nahi Tana. Advaita Acharya considered the meaning of the verse in this way. Not finding any way to repay the debt he owes to one who offers him a tulsi leaf and water. Lord Krishna thinks, there is no wealth in my possession that is equal to a tulsi leaf and water. Number 107. Tabe atma vechi kare nirhasodana etta bhavi acharya karena aradhana. Thus the Lord liquidates the debt by offering himself to the devotee. Considering in this way, the Acharya began worshipping the Lord. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So where is it? Oh, it's gone that way. Through devotional service, one can easily place Lord Krishna with a leaf of the tulsi plant and a little water. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 9:26, a leaf, a flower, a water, a fruit, or some water. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. When offered with devotion, very much pleases him. He universally accepts the service of his devotees. Even the poorest of devotees in any part of the world can secure a small flower, fruit, or leaf, or a little water. And if these offerings, and especially tulsi leaves and Ganges water, are offered to Krishna with devotion, he is very satisfied. It is said that Krishna is so much pleased by such devotional service that he offers himself to his devotee in exchange for it. Srila Advaita Acharya knew this fact, and therefore he decided to call for the personality of God, Krishna, to descend by worshipping the Lord with tulsi leaves and the water of the Ganges. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyana Shalakaya Chakshuranmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvei Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam-Rupa Kadamahayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakara Gunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sri Lalita Vishakanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindamaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuva Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this whole storyline is about Bhakta Vatsal. Krishna accepts a devotee's surrender. If you surrender to Krishna with full faith in Krishna and you offer a little fruit, flower, a leaf, or water, but with two conditions. love and devotion. So if we do that, then Krishna accepts that offering. So Krishna accepts the leaf of tulsi leaf and water, Ganges water, from Advaita Acharya. The flower, Krishna with the flower, he likes different flowers, and he accepts that if somebody gives with love. And then fruit, the example is normally given that Sabri was actually tasting the berries, and only the ones which were sweet were given to the Lord, because it was done with love and devotion. So that was one example of a fruit. The other example is in the Mahabharata, when Duryodhana actually asked Krishna, "You come a long way, and from Dwarka, and please come and enjoy a royal feast." So then Krishna said, "Thank you very much. It's nice to have a big feast, but I would prefer to go to my devotee," who was Vidur. And Vidur, when he requested Krishna to come to his place, a small place compared to a palace, so Vidur was so excited that Krishna is coming to his place. And then more excited was his wife to see Krishna come at the door, inside the door. And she was completely surprised. So what she did is that she didn't have anything much, but there was few bananas, whatever. And then she was giving the skin of the banana, not the actual fruit. But Krishna was accepting nicely the skin, and he was enjoying. And then Vidur comes in the room and says, "What are you doing? You're giving not the fruit, you're giving the skin." So then she's completely shocked, and she says, "Okay, I give the fruit," and then remove the peel. So she was doing that, but then Krishna said, "I'm not enjoying it as much as I was enjoying the skin." So this is the love and devotion of a devotee. It doesn't matter what he offers. So in the verse 926 of Bhagavad Gita, you can all repeat after me. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upharetam asnami prayat atmanaha. So there, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam is so easy to remember in a way. Patram is a leaf. Pushpam is flower. Patram Pushpam Phalam. Phalam is fruit. The other last item, Toyam, is difficult to understand because there is not, in Vedic custom, Patram, everyone knows, is a leaf. Patram, Pushpam, everyone gets idea. Pushpam is flower. And then Phalam, everyone knows, is fruit. The only complicated one is Toyam, okay? But that means water. So in this case, Advaita Acharya is taking a little bit of Ganga Jal and Tulsi leaf and offering in such a serious manner with so much love and devotion. He is worshipping Govardhan, Shila, yes, Krishna. And he's praying so nicely, very loudly he's crying out the name of Krishna. Please come, the people in this world are suffering a lot. Only you can help. So please come down and help us out. So that loud calling of Advaita Acharya it went through the different spheres and actually entered the Lord's ears. And he straight away, comes to help. If you know the story of Gajendra, and the crocodile is holding on to his foot. The crocodile's mouth is trying to, beat the elephant, because Gajendra is stronger in the water. And, Gajendra is stronger in the land. This crocodile is stronger in the water. So, this fight was going on for more than 1,000 years. And because crocodile is a water animal, so he is stronger in the water. And the elephant, Gajendra, is getting weaker and weaker as time passes. 1,000 years this fight went on. So Gajendra was getting weaker and weaker. And crocodile was getting stronger and stronger. Yes? So what happens is that Gajendra, he's losing his life slowly. And then, this is in the 8th canto, if you want to follow it up, chapters 2 and 3, I think. But anyway, Gajendra sees a lotus flower. And then, with his Gajendra's trunk, he can pick that lotus flower up, and then he surrenders he offers it to Krishna in Vaikuntha. And because he was doing it with so much love and devotion, Krishna heard his prayers. So he comes straight away on his Garuda, very quickly, to the place where the crocodile was trapping his leg, Gajendra's leg, foot. So then Krishna, with his Sudarshan Chakra, he cuts open the trap, basically. He's holding on to the trunk crocodile, so he cuts crocodile's head off. So there is a big story, who is who, but in short, the elephant is Indradyumna Maharaj in the past life, and then he was cursed, and that's why he came in the body of an elephant. And similarly, the crocodile was also cursed. So he came, it was actually King Huhu, and he came in this form of a crocodile. So, but the point is that Krishna hears sincere prayers of devotees, and he reciprocates. So he is called Bhakta Vatsala. Arjun was a very dear friend and devotee of Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are 2 conditions. What are they? Arjun was 1, friend, and 2, devotee. So 2 conditions. And then Krishna said, okay, I'll be your charioteer. So Krishna takes a low position. Charioteer is a low position. It's like somebody driving Maharaj's. So he's just a driver taking Maharaj away from A to B. But his position is low, isn't it? He's just a driver. Similarly, Arjun is a Paratha-sarthi. I'm sorry, Krishna is Paratha-sarthi of Arjun. Okay? So when we offer to their lordships, we actually have to offer with such a humble state of mind, and then offer that to our Guru, and then Srila Prabhupada, and then Panchatattva, and then Krishna accepts that offering. Rather, Rani and Krishna accepts the offering. So there is a process. We go through the disciplic succession. And Draupadi was another devotee of Krishna. That Draupadi actually helped Krishna when he had a little cut somewhere. And then Draupadi straight away tore a piece of her cloth and then wrapped around Krishna's hand to stop the bleeding. Krishna always remembers something small or big, it doesn't matter, small or big. But if it's done with love and devotion, he accepts it. So in Draupadi's case, Krishna accepts that offering of the little cloth. And then when she is in trouble, when Dushashan was trying to disrobe her in the assembly of the courthouse, then Krishna comes. But Krishna doesn't come very quickly. You and I, now in ISKCON, we are trained to, I can't lift my left hand because I just fell down earlier, but this idea of handing, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's got two hands. Both hands, like Prabhu is mentioning. So both hands are raised. But when we just raise one hand, Krishna doesn't run. He just says, let them fully surrender, then I'll come and help. So when you raise both hands, which we are doing in ISKCON, when you chant and dance, when you raise both hands, then Krishna will help. So that's the surrender, So we have to surrender on the roads. When you do Kirtan, Sankirtan, then we understand who is Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, rather. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pictures you see everywhere. Here you are. They've got their hands up. You can see? Nice picture. They've got their hands up. I don't know if there's much more. Here they are. Panchatattva. All of them are raising hands. So maybe you can all raise hands except me and say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, your hands should be right up there, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, right up there. So start again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then Krishna, actually he's so happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so happy that Advaita Acharya has called me down on this earth and we will propagate Sankirtan movement. So this is one of the external reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to chant and, introduce Sankirtan Yajna. Okay, so I think I'll cover most of it. So Lord Chaitanya in his 5 features, one is he is Krishna Chaitanya. Yes, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nityananda is an expansion of manifestation of energy. Nityananda is expansion. Advaita Acharya is an incarnation. Okay? And Gadadhar Prabhu is the internal potency. Brackets Radharani, internal potency, Gadadhar. And Srivas is the marginal living entity. Okay? So Srivas is, his appearance day is today. So we'll talk a little bit about Srivas Thakur. He actually is Narad Muni. He is taking the position of spreading devotional service. So he's, Acharya for Bhakti. So his name is Narad Muni. But that was 5,000 years ago with Krishna. And 500 years ago, he comes as Srivas Thakur. And how much time do we have now? Sorry? Anybody got time? Another 5 minutes, 10 minutes? 10 minutes, okay, good. So I will now talk about my realization. I was very fortunate that I was traveling with Keshav Maharaj. He was then called Sutapa Prabhu. But I was very lucky that we were in Mayapur. And I did a course on deity worship course with my head Pujari, Gadadhar Prabhu. So both of us went to Mayapur to study in the Mayapur Institute. But the point is that we were taught by Jnana Nivas and Pankajangri Prabhu, and Nrsinga Kavacha Prabhu. So we studied for 1 whole month to study about deity worship. And there was a very strict timetable that you have to attend Mangalarti, and then somebody comes in the Mangalarti, in the Mayapur main temple, and then they are sitting like Brahma is sitting there, and then he is checking who is present in the Mangalarti, who is not present in the Mangalarti. So there are inspections every single day. Are you attending Mangalarti? Are you attending the class? Are you attending Guru Puja? Etc. Everything. Because that was part of the requirement. So it was quite intense, because then you have to study, then you have to revise, then you have to give exams. And I was lucky that whatever I understood, we had the group, like you are here. Then I was trying to teach them. So that I find when I want to learn anything, if I discuss with somebody, it goes in. If I leave it to myself, then it doesn't go in. So even the deity course I was teaching everyone in the evening. We have a half an hour class or something, and then we recap what we learned in the daytime. So that's my sort of, little contribution, extra contribution. But I love teaching. So following year or following 2 years, then I was given an opportunity to teach in Vihaichi, my first time. And then I did some research on the Vaishnava Acharyas. So I was studying, and I was teaching. Anyway, coming back to Mayapur, yes. While we were doing this course on one side, Keshav Maharaj, with blessings of Niranjan Swami, he actually took me to different places. And we actually did some kirtan, in Srivas Angam. That's in the way, it's in the way. So Srivas Angan we stopped, and we actually sat down and we did some kirtan. So isn't that wonderful, Srivas Angan? This Srivas Angan is the place of Srivas Thakur. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing, chant, glorify. And that picture sort of signifies, that they put their hands up and dance properly. Yes? Very nicely. You keep dancing. I think you, at the Guru Puja or a little bit, later, you actually try and dance and touch the ceiling. But the ceiling is quite high. But, some temples you can actually touch the ceiling, because you dance very high, Jump. So anyway, that's the idea. We have to jump and dance and put our hands up. That is surrender. Then Krishna actually likes it. Krishna is present wherever there is chanting going on, serious chanting going on. So don't think Krishna is only in the devotee form. He comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wherever you're doing Sankirtan. Okay? Remember that. Wherever you do Sankirtan, he's present. Okay? So Maharaj took us to Srivas Angan, and then Srivas Angan is the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they were all dancing very nicely. And one day, Srivas Thakur's son, he had quite a big family, but one of his sons passed away, unfortunately. But then the family actually were very concerned that we should do something, for the son. But then Srivas Thakur understood what's happening, but they were all involved inside the house, not outside in the courtyard where the dancing was going on. So he suggested that do not worry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here, even Lord Brahma was there in the dancing. They are all here dancing in the courtyard. Kirtan, Sankirtan. So the point is that if you chant Hare Krishna when somebody is passing away or passed away, that sound, vibration, chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra helps move the soul to another spiritual body. Yes, spiritual body, and it goes to Vaikuntha, yeah, or Golok Vrindavan. So Srivas told his family, don't worry, don't do anything, just carry on chanting. And no crying. When you cry, the soul doesn't go anywhere, it just stays where it is. But if you stop crying, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is chanting, dancing, and that at the time of death is the best thing anybody can do. And I'm glad to say that most of the devotees in ISKCON, if anybody is coming nearer to the end of the material pastimes, then, for example, Radhanath Maharaj, other devotees, we go to that place, that bed in hospital or whatever, and we chant Hare Krishna. So this is now a system. It is a very good system that we chant the holy name. So whatever goes in his mind or the patient's health, it helps him move forward in his spiritual life. Okay, so how many minutes have I got? 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes? Oh my God. Sorry, I went on too much. Question time, please. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry? Aniyor. I hope, anyway, I haven't made any mistakes. If I have, please correct me. But otherwise, please ask questions, relevant questions to the verse. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for such a nice class and a nice elaboration on Srivas Thakur. I was thinking about this last point that you mentioned about at the time of death, chanting the holy name of Krishna and Radharani, Hare Krishna. And I was thinking about how when Ajamil chanted Narayan, he actually didn't immediately go back to the spiritual world. He had to perform proper sadhana in order to attain Vaikuntha. I was wondering maybe if you could give us a deeper elaboration on not just the importance of chanting the name at the time of death, but also chanting with a deep sense of purity and a deep sense of consciousness when in sambandha with the holy name. Maybe you could give us some tips on how to do that.
Okay, basically, Ajamil, as you know, did so many wrong things. He was originally a Brahmana, but with the association of somebody in the lower modes, he saw that, and then he also became associated with a prostitute. But his life became worse because, prostitutes, they need money. They're only interested in money, nothing else. So he had to rob and this and that and whatever, to try and satisfy the prostitute. But long and short, at the end, I think it was 88, when Yamadutas had a big list. So they were very happy. They were extremely happy that, we've got this man, sinful man. So let's, get him and put him in the hell. He had different hellish planets, one for doing this, one for doing that, so he'll stay there forever. Like a prisoner is caught with one murder or two murders, then he has to go for life, So they were all happy that, this man is, coming to hell. So Yamadutas came to capture him, take his soul away. But because Ajamil got a glimpse that these people are coming, let me just chant my son's name. So he didn't chant Narayan's name. His son was called Narayan. So he chanted that name in so much enthusiasm as such. He was shouting, Narayan, please save me, So although he could see the Yamadutas, but he chanted loudly, Narayan, please save me. So the point is that, of course, Narayan is very merciful. Anybody who chants his name, he'll come to rescue him. So he sends the Vishnu Dutas. So one side is Yamadutas, they want to snatch the soul away, but the other side is the Yamadutas. They say, no. Leave this man alone because he's chanted the holy name of the name, holy name of the Lord. So that story, that pastime, basically tells us that the holy name of the Lord is so powerful. Yeah, there's a verse in the Shiksha, Nam Namakari, Bahuda. So all the energies of Krishna are inside the holy name. Okay? So if we remember that, then don't worry about this and that. We just remember that the holy name is so powerful that you can go back to Vaikuntha. That is the point. Don't think about anything else in the story. That is the point. Narayan's name is so powerful because it's Krishna's name. That's the point there. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for such a wonderful class. My question is also about holy name. You said that wherever there is chanting going on and serious chanting is going on, Gaurang Mahaprabhu is present there. What do you mean by serious chanting?
Chant with your heart. Chant with your heart. Like love and devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakti. He is only after two things. What are they? Love and devotion. What are the four things he offered? Can I have two from this side and two from this side, please? Good, two. Good. You got it. Now when you go out, you remember these four. And you remember the verse. What is the verse number? 9.26. Okay? Patram pushpa phalam toyam. Yome bhakti prayachati. Tadham bhakti uparitam asnami prayat atmana. Okay? Wonderful verse to remember. And that's what Advaita Acharya did. To call out, but loudly he called out. Okay? With tulsi leaf and Ganga water. Okay, any more questions? Because I think prasadam will be getting cold, but I can answer a few more questions. Mataji, one of you, possibly one question. You must have a question. Hare Krishna. Yes, no? One Prabhu here. Question. This garland, by the way, is so nice. I love it.
Simple, I'm just wondering, what's the difference between love and devotion? They seem like the same thing.
Okay. In this material world, everyone is affected by lust, not love. So, devotion is something you do as a process. That, okay, there's a fruit here, let me give it to Krishna. Okay, it's a process. But the love element is from the heart. If your heart is pure, Krishna accepts that. He wants to see that pure love. That is the difference. Heart is to be cleaned. And this is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells us, Cheto Marjanam. Yeah? Clean your heart. And once your heart is clean, then Krishna helps. There's a nice verse, Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna, Punya Sravana Krishna Kirtanam. In that verse, then it says at the end, Ridunoti Surit Satam. So, the heart, if you hear properly, the nectar goes through the ear, and if you hear